Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anis Azza. I'm as a second speaker, and then I will continue the explanations about theories of politeness. Okay, there are some point. I present today. There consists of 6 points. And then the first point is about performing an FTA with redress negative politeness. So we need to know the definitions about negative politeness. So the negative politeness is regressive actions addressed to addresses negative phase. And then negative politeness is oriented towards a higher negative phase. Okay, and then so negative politeness adalah suatu tindakan pencegahan atau meminimalisasi ancaman terhadap negatif phase pendengarnya. Nah, ketika pembicaranya menginginkan sesuatu dari pendengarnya, maka kebebasan dan keinginan pembicaranya itu akan terbebani atau terganggu. So, untuk mengurangi gangguan tersebut, there are some strategies in the negative politeness according to Brown and Levinson. The first strategy is be conventionally indirect. It means that menggunakan ujaran secara tidak langsung. In this strategy, the speaker is faced with opposing tensions that decide to give the hearer an out baby indirect, and the desire to go on record. So, be conventionally indirect. The speaker use phrase or sentences that have contextually ambiguous meaning, which have a different meaning from literal meaning. In the example, can you please shut the door? Like that. And then next strategy is questions heads. To deliver this strategy, the speaker use particle, word, and sentences, and it marked by word of short of, pretty, quiet, and regular, and rather. Heads. Heads itu adalah seorang pembicara, speakernya itu menggunakan heads untuk menghindari penyataan atau pertanyaan secara langsung karena terdengar kasar atau tegas. Nah, fungsi dari heads tersebut adalah untuk sebagai penghalus makna pernyataan. Nah, seperti itu, like that. In example, when you open the door, and then it was amazing, wasn't it? Nah, questions heads also use tag questions are used by the speaker. And then the next strategy is be pessimistic. This strategy gives a redress to the hearer's negative phase by explicitly expressing doubt the conditions for the appropriateness of the speaker's speech act of time. Be pessimistic applied by the speaker when the speaker show their doubt to the hearer by asking the hearer possibility, and it marked by can, could, would, might, will, and might. In example, you couldn't give me a cigarette, could you? Like that. And then the fourth strategy is minimize the impositions on the other person. Nah, it means that meminimalkan tekanan. In this strategy applied when the speaker uses some expressions such as a teeny little, a bit, or test. In example, I just want to ask if I can borrow a single sheet of paper, like that. And then the strategy give deference. Nah, it means memberikan penghormatan. Nah, there are two sides to the coin in the realizations of deference. First, the speaker humble and abases himself, and then the second subject, the speaker raises the hearer, pays him positive face of a particular kind. Okay. In example, we look forward very much to see you again, like that. And then the other example like excuse me sir, but would you mind if I close the window, like that. This is a give difference example in give difference. And then the next strategy is apologize. By apologizing for doing an FTA, the speaker can indicate his reluctance to impinge on the hearer's negative face and thereby partially redress that impingement. In the example, I had to impose, but blah blah blah, like that. And then the next strategy is impersonalize the speaker and the hearer. It means menghindarkan penggunaan kata in this strategy. One way of indicating that the speaker doesn't want to impinge on the hearer is to press on the FTA as if the agent were older than the speaker, or at least possibly not the speaker or not speaker alone. Nah, in this strategy, also avoiding the word you and I, because the avoidance in English is aggressively rude. In example, do this for me please. It would be appreciated if blah blah blah, like that. And then the next strategy is state the FTA as a general rule. This strategy shows that the speaker doesn't want to impinge the hearer, and then the speaker omits the fact that impedes the hearer by emphasizing a notion that the act is a general rule. Okay. In example, passengers will please refrain from smoking in this room, like Okay, and the next strategy is nominalize. Nominalize. It is shown by nominalizing the sentences to be more nouns or nominalize to distance the actor and add formality. In this strategy, also the act of changing a verb into a noun in a sentence. Okay, you can read the example of nominalize. Okay, the first example. You performed well on the examinations and we were favorably impressed. And then the second, you performing well on the examinations impressed us favorably. And then the last, your good performance on the examinations impressed us favorably. In the last example, this is like formal, like more formal than the others. Like, and then the last strategies in the negative politeness, that is go on record as incurring a debt or as not indebting the hearer. Means menyatakan terus terang speakernya bahwa speakernya itu berhutang budi kepada penutur. Okay, like I'll never be able to repay you if you blah blah blah, like that. Okay, I will continue the next example of negative politeness strategies. This is an example of negative politeness. In the example, there are some strategies in the negative politeness. Okay. I will give you an example. The sentence in the one of the strategies of negative politeness. Okay. I'm sorry, I miss you today. This is an example of the strategy of apologizing. Okay, and then I know it's a terrible impositions. Also example of the strategy apologize. Okay, and then I would be very grateful. This is an example of the strategy go on record as incurring a debt. Okay, like that. Okay, I will continue the next point about performing FTA using off record politeness. Okay, then so the final strategy according to Brown and Levinson 1987 211, the off-record utterance are essentially indirect use of language. If the speaker wants to do an FTA but wants to avoid the responsibility for doing it, so the speaker can do off-record and leave it up to the hearer to decide how to interpret it. Nah, jadi strategi off record ini digunakan untuk memperhalus suatu ujaran. Nah, karena off record strategies ini merupakan tindak tutur tidak langsung, maka the hearer-nya, pendengarnya itu harus menginterpretasikan sendiri ujaran yang dituturkan speakernya. Nah, and then Brown and Levinson membaginya in the 15 strategies. Okay, the first strategies is give hints. Nah, give hints means memberikan isyarat atau petunjuk. If the speaker says something not explicitly relevant, the speaker invite the hearer to search for an interpretation of the possible relevance. Okay, jadi dalam strategi ini pembicaranya, penuturnya mengujarkan sesuatu yang tidak berhubungan dengan maksud yang sebenarnya. Nah, jadi pendengarnya itu mencoba untuk menginterpretasikan ujaran yang disampaikan penuturnya. Like in example, it's cold here. Nah, it means that the speaker wants the hearer to shut the window, like that. And then the second strategy is give association clue. It means memberikan petunjuk yang berhubungan. Nah, if the speaker give a related kind of implication triggered by mentioning something associated with the act required of the hearer, either by precedent in the speaker or the hearer's experience, or by mutual knowledge irrespective of their intellectual experience. Nah, jadi dari strategi kedua ini, penuturnya itu mengujarkan sesuatu yang berhubungan dengan tindakan yang diharapkan dari pendengarnya, karena memang keduanya itu sebelumnya telah mengalami suatu pengalaman yang sama, like oh God, I've got a headache again. Is an example of give association clue. And then the next strategy is presuppose. Nah, presuppose means praanggapan. The speaker make the hearer looking for the presuppose prior event by implicating something. Nah, jadi penuturnya itu menuturkan ujaran yang seluruhnya hampir relevan dengan konteks, dengan memberikan praanggapan. Like, I wash the car again today. And then John's in the bathtub yet again. Nah, this is an example of presuppose. And then the fourth strategy is understate. Nah, understate means di bawah, merendahkan tuturan. In this strategy, the speaker inevitably saying something less than or something different from what the speaker actually intends to convey. And then maksudnya jadi penuturnya itu memberikan penilaian lebih atas suatu hal dengan tujuan untuk memperhalus ujarannya, atau mungkin untuk menyembunyikan maksud the speaker yang sebenarnya. Like, what do you think of Harry? Nothing wrong with him. I don't think he or she is very good. This is an example of understate. Nah, oke. Jadi mungkin saja ketika pembicaranya menanyakan Harry, pendengarnya itu tahu kalau sebenarnya Harry itu tidak dalam keadaan yang baik. Nah, seperti itu. And then the next strategy is overstate, means melebih-lebihkan. Nah, if the speaker says more necessary, thus violating the quantity maxim in another way. The speaker may also confide implicatures. The speaker may display the inverse of the understatement principle by exaggerating or choosing a point on a scale which is higher than the actual state of affairs. An example. Okay. Before I explain the example, jadi overstate itu penuturnya itu menuturkan ujaran yang berlebihan, atau penuturnya itu menuturkan ujaran yang jauh dari kebenaran. Oke, seperti itu. In the example, there were 1 million people in the co-op tonight. And then I tried to call 100 times, but there was never any answer. Okay, this in the second example, maybe if we feel if we will disappointment with the other people, usually we say that. Okay, and then the next strategy is use tautologies. Jadi the speaker encourages the hearer to look for an informative interpretations of the non-informative utterances. Jadi tautologi itu artinya pengulangan kata tanpa penjelasan. Nah, dalam strategi ini itu penutur mengujarkan ujaran dengan tautologi dengan harapan pembicaranya itu menginterpretasikan ujaran yang tidak informatif. Like in example, war is war. If I want, give it, I want. Nah, jadi penuturnya itu mengulangi kata tapi nggak ngasih penjelasan kenapa mengatakan seperti itu, like that. And then the next is use contradictions. By stating two things that contradict each other, the speaker makes it appear that the speaker cannot be telling the truth. The speaker thus encourages the hearer to look for an interpretation that reconcile the two contradictory propositions. Okay. Jadi kontradiksi. Nah, kontradiksi ini penutur menuturkan ujaran yang saling bertentangan. Nah, dengan menuturkan dua hal yang bertentangan itu, penontonnya menunjukkan bahwa ia tidak dapat mengatakan yang sebenarnya dan berharap lawan bicaranya itu dapat mencari interpretasi dari ujaran tersebut. Like, are you upset about that? The healernya, well, yes and no, I'm and not. This not clearly. And then the next strategy is be ironic. By saying the opposite of what the speaker means. The speaker indirectly confide. And the speaker intent, meaning if there are clue, the speaker intent meaning is being conveyed indirectly. Like beautiful weather, isn't it? Nah, jadi penuturnya itu ngomong cuacanya bagus ya, bagus bukan? Nah, padahal penutur dan lawan bicaranya itu, pendengarnya itu melihat ada seorang tukang pos yang basah kuyup karena hujan deras, like that. Then use metaphor. The speaker use a metaphor and leave it to the hearer to interpret his or her intended meaning. An example: here is a real fish. Maybe Harry itu orangnya, dia itu kurus, berenang, berdiam dingin, minum seperti seekor ikan, seperti itu. Jadi pembicaranya itu, penuturnya itu ngomong Harry's a real fish, like that. And then the next strategy is use rhetorical questions. The speaker asks questions with no intention of obtaining an answer, is to break sincerity conditions on questions, namely that the speaker wants the hearer to provide him with the indicated informations. In example, how many times do I have to tell you? Like that. And then the next, be ambiguous. Jadi in this strategy, penontonnya itu lebih memilih menggunakan jadi penontonnya itu apa yang diucapkan penontonnya itu tidak selalu jelas. And then yang dimana bentuk penontonnya itu menggunakan konotasi like that. Like John's a pretty. And then the next, be fake. The speaker goes off record with a FTA by being fake about the object of the FTA is or what the offense. Nah, jadi be fake, it means that penuturnya itu menuturkan ujaran yang tidak jelas siapa objeknya, and then apa maksudnya. Like, perhaps someone did something naughty. Nah, tiba-tiba pembicaranya itu mengatakan seperti itu. Nah, Jadi kita itu pendengarnya itu gak jelas maksudnya pembicaranya itu apa, siapa yang dituju juga gitu. And then the next, overgeneralize. The speaker utters a rule if instances that might leave the hearer to have a choice of deciding whether the general rule applies to him. So, jadi penentunya itu menentukan ujaran suatu objek secara umum atau tidak khusus. Like, mature people sometimes have two diseases. It is a general. And then the next strategy is displace healer. Nah, the speaker may address another who is impossibly receive that kind of utterances as the object hope the real target will see the FTA is aimed at him. Nah, jadi in this strategy itu tuh menuturkan ujarannya bukan kepada objek aslinya, tetapi kepada orang lain. Nah, tujuannya itu supaya targetnya itu bisa mengetahui sasaran FTA sesungguhnya adalah dirinya. Like in example, where one secretary in an office asks another but with negative politeness to pass a stapler. In circumstance where a professor is much nearer to the stapler than the other secretary, his face is not threatened and he can choose to do it himself as a bonus free gift. Like that. And then in the strategy itu kayak berbicara peka dan gak peka orang gitu aja ya. Okay, and then the last strategy is beyond complete. Use ellipses. Elliptical utterances are legitimate by various conversational contexts in answer to questions. The speaker can leave the implicature hanging in the air, just as with rhetorical questions. Nah, jadi ini strategi itu penuturnya itu menuturkan ujaran yang sifatnya masih gantung. Jadi nggak menyelesaikan ujarannya itu secara jelas, hanging in the air. In example, well, I didn't see you, blah blah blah, like that. Okay, we will continue in the next point. Is about do not perform FTA. According to Tanaka, 1993, discussed two sorts of saying nothing called the opting out choice or OOC. Nah, Tanaka itu membagi dua sort yang disebut dengan OOC. That are the first OOC genuine, where the speaker does not perform a speech act and genuinely intends to let the matter remain closed. Jadi disebutnya itu tidak melakukan tindak tutur dan bermaksud membiarkan masalah tetap tertutup seperti itu. Jadi kayak menyembunyikan. And then the second is OOC strategic, where the speaker doesn't perform a speech act but expect to invite her or his wish to achieve the perlocutionary effect. It means that the speaker tidak melakukan tindak tutur tetapi mengharapkan pendengarnya itu menyimpulkan keinginan speakernya untuk memperoleh pengaruh perlocutionary effective. In example, Aston was a senior research fellow at Corpus Christi. He was subject to bouts of drinking and severe depressions. He would be difficult to work with and was something of an embarrassment to the college. Now, at meeting between president and fellow, Aston said to Dover, "You are trying to pass me out of the college." Dover commented, "This was so obviously true that I didn't say anything." This is an example of the do not perform FTA. Okay. And then the next is about criticism of Brown and Levinson. Brown and Levinson's theory represents that every individual has two types of face, that are positive face and negative face. They also defines the positive face as the individual's desire that his or her be appreciated in social interactions. The negative face as the individual's desire for freedom, for actions and impositions. The theory assumes that most speech except over requests and compliments inherently threaten either the hearer's or the speaker's wants, and the politeness involved in reducing face-threatening acts. In criticism of Brown and Levinson, do not explain perform an FTA. And then Brown and Levinson do not discuss the strategy about do not perform FTA. So Tanaka 1993 discusses two sorts of saying nothing, or the term are called the opting out choice, or OOC. Okay. And then the next point is about politeness view as a conversational contract. The right and obligations define the interlocutor's duty as a conversational contract. Conversational contract view is similar to social norm view in that politeness involves conforming to socially agreed codes of good behavior. It is different from social norm view because in conversational contract view, the right and obligations are negotiable. Okay, and then politeness measured along pragmatic scale. Okay, Spencer Otey use three set dimensions that are individuals will select the point on the scale according to their cultural value and the situations within which they are operating. Nah, this is a scale by Spencer Otai, 1992. You can find uh, all of the example of the strategy in the Thomas 1995 and Brown and Levinson book. Okay, I think enough for my presentations, and we will continue to Q&A about the theories of politeness. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.